Hi there. If you don't know me already, my name is Jenna Hollenstein. I'm a registered dietitian, a nutrition therapist, and a meditation teacher. And I would like to share with you a little bit more about my new course, Stillness as Skill. Now, this is a course that I've taught for the last 10 years or so. And over those 10 years, I've honed it more and more to focus on the needs of people in our field of eating disorders, disordered eating, and body image, giving you the tools that you need to both develop your own personal meditation practice and then gradually to build to a place where you can offer meditation and mindfulness instruction to the people that you work with. Previously, this was a longer course. I've actually taken some feedback from folks and reshaped it a little bit so that instead of 9 classes, we're now down to 6 classes, and then a 7th final gathering where we will do the final exam, which is called the Warrior Circle. The class will be offered on Saturdays beginning in September, on September 20th. The final exam will be on November 8th. And the class will run from 10 in the morning until 12:30 with a break in the middle for biology. And basically the way that this course works is that the first half of it is all about supporting you to develop your own personal meditation practice. So understanding what the technique is, the specific technique that we're going to be learning is called shamatha vipassana, which is a mindfulness awareness practice that is breath-based. The eyes are open because we're cultivating the capacity to stay awake in our lives and in our world. Where does it come from? What is it? What isn't it? What are some of the misconceptions around this practice? What are some of the aspects of the philosophy that informs the view of meditation so that we don't misinterpret it and don't separate it from its origins? So what is the history of this practice? Where does it come from? What did it mean to the people who developed it? And what has it meant to the people who have been practicing it for the last 2,500 years? And through this time, we'll be addressing what comes up naturally for you as you're building your own meditation practice. We'll begin with just 10 minutes a day. And then over the course of those 6 weeks, and then that final exam, the 7th week, you'll work up to a 20-minute a day meditation practice. And you'll receive all of the tools that you need in order to cultivate a sustainable practice. And I hope that that is something that stays with you for the rest of your life. The second half of the course, so weeks 4, 5, and 6, they're really focused on how to bring this into your professional offerings, how to teach the technique based on what you know from your own developing practice and from the raw integrity of the technique itself, and how to offer that in a way that's skillful and responsible and appropriate for each individual that you choose to share it with. One of the biggest changes in the course this time around is a much deeper dive into issues around trauma-sensitive or trauma-informed mindfulness. And this is especially important for those of us who work in the helping field, particularly because trauma, our awareness of it and our diagnosis of it, it's increased. And at the same time, mindfulness practices have increased. There's a tendency to think of mindfulness and meditation as panaceas, right? Like sort of the way we think of dietary supplements sometimes. Like it can hurt and it might even help. But the truth is that meditation can do harm in some cases if it's not applied skillfully. And so what you'll gain from this course, and specifically the information around trauma-sensitive mindfulness, is how do you figure out who's a good candidate for mindfulness practices? Who would be an appropriate candidate for this shamatha vipassana meditation technique? How do you assess if somebody is ready, somebody specifically with a trauma history? How do you know if somebody's ready to practice meditation? How do you recognize the signs that maybe they're not ready for it? Or if you deem them appropriate for meditation and then something starts to go awry, what do? So I'm really proud that the course is taking this deeper dive into this, because I think that as mindfulness and meditation become more and more mainstream in how we practice, we really need to give attention to this. And the literature, the scientific research is full of wonderful offerings in terms of frameworks and tools and resources, all of which I'll be giving to you so that you can feel confident in making that choice. And you can also work with your own nervous system, because a lot of us ourselves are working with a trauma history. There is a 60-something page workbook that you'll get when you sign up for the course, and that has our curriculum, that has outlines of all of the classes so that you can follow along with the progression of the class and take notes. There's a meditation journal in there. There are handouts and other resources for you personally and to share with clients if you choose to do so in the future. And there is a frequently asked questions section that's broken down by category that is actually the substance of the Warrior Circle, that final exam on November 8th. And so with the Warrior Circle, you'll be asked to read all of the frequently asked questions and read the answers that are provided to you on day one, and then think about, how would I answer this question if it was posed to me by a meditation student? And then on the day of the Warrior Circle, you'll be asked to answer one question that I'll kind of pick out of a hat at random. But the process of reviewing the frequently asked questions and figuring out how you would respond to them and being ready to answer all of them is really key, because I guarantee that these questions are going to come up. At some point toward the end of the course, we'll also schedule a one-to-one so that you can give me meditation instruction and ask me any questions that come up for you along the way. Classes 4, 5, and 6, you'll also be pairing off with fellow students and giving each other instruction. So the second half of those classes will be pairing off into dyads, and then one of you will give instruction, the other will be the student, and then you'll change seats and do it again. And so what all of this contributes to is a deepening understanding of the practice of meditation and the philosophy of mindfulness, how to bring this into your work in a way that's responsible and not just slapdash, and how to continue to deepen your understanding of these approaches over the course of your life. I'm very pleased to share that after the course is over, it won't be goodbye for us, because there's a monthly free peer supervision group that I run. And I've been running this for many years now, and so each time the course has been offered, the graduates go into that gathering. And so in that gathering, you get to give instruction to your peers and get feedback. You get to ask questions or share what's going on in your personal practice. And you get to share what's going on in your professional offerings on meditation and mindfulness. So I think that what you end up feeling is really held in this experience of both getting to know your own mind through the practice of meditation, and then sharing that capacity for presence and tolerance of discomfort and expansion to accommodate all the things that come up for us in the course of our lives. And to just feel confident in doing that. Not that you know everything, but that you feel confident in navigating what comes up, even if it's unexpected. So the course starts on September 20th, and the last class is on November 1st. The final exam is on November 8th. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And I really hope that you will take a look at all these materials and sign up, because honestly, after being a dietitian for 25 years and practicing in the eating disorders field for 15 years, meditation practice has been the thing that I draw on the most on a day-to-day basis, personally, as a mother, as a partner, as a community member, and certainly in any work with clients or speaking about nutrition and recovery and how to apply mindfulness in a real sustainable way. So I hope I see you soon.